No, it doesn't. The 10,000 thing is not. Okay, Kickstarter, for all those who don't know, you should check out Kickstarter.com. It's an interesting way of fans participating in setting up, helping artists with new CDs or new projects, films, books, The beautiful thing for me about Kickstarter wasn't as much the funding. With Orca, obviously, it's a symphony. I'm not even singing on it. It's a full classical symphony, and I've recorded it in the studio with sampled strings and brass and percussion, and we have the scores done, but we wanted to record it live with an orchestra, so we're putting on a show where we play like the Dead Symphony and Orca and record Orca live, but there's a lot of cost to having a 52-piece orchestra in Austria, record it, and this is a great orchestra, one that I've worked with before on Like the Dead Symphony. So we thought, let's get people involved, not just for funding purposes, but for them to be involved from the ground up. Kickstarter is an interesting way of kind of becoming partners with people that like your music and going, okay, here's what I can do for you. If you can help me out, I can do this for you, that kind of thing. And the early interest in Orca is more interesting to me than the funding, because having hundreds of people, if not thousands of people, spread the word about it 6 months before the record comes out, 8 months before the record comes out, is a dream come true for an artist. So that aspect of it, and not just spreading the word about it, but being involved in it, being excited about it, A regular typical album cycle, as you well know, being a journalist, is, the artist makes the record, then spends 3 months before putting out the record to market it. That's when you want to let fans know, hey, I've got a new record, this is what it's about. You talk to the press. Well, you don't need the press. You don't need, you don't need those 3 months. Instead, you just go, here's what I'm thinking of doing. If you guys like what I'm doing, here's a sample, here's the concept, here's what I can give you in return. Let's join it. Let's do this together. It's a whole new way of doing things. I'm really excited about it. We've done in 4 or 5 days, we've done about 60% of what we aim to do, which is incredible. And the 10,000 thing, coming back to that, I've seen a lot of Kickstarter programs and researched it. No one usually gets the $10,000 thing. It's kind of like adding it there just in case someone ends up doing it, but you don't ever expect someone to do it, kind of thing. What's made it so personal is that no one else has played on it, if you think about it, well, there's a couple of things that make it personal. For me, every type of music that I've worked on, classical, jazz, rock, electronic, they each have their own forms of expression. The vulnerability and melancholy that you can express through a symphonic piece of music is so much more powerful than those emotions through rock. The power, intensity, the intentions, the lyrical kind of wizardry that you can do through rock, you can't do that through classical, not really, So each has like a unique form of expression, and Orca is like a poem in some ways without words, and very unique form of expression. And it took me a while to put together because I was doing many other things, obviously, and it's a lot of work too. There's more work putting out Orca than Harakiri, for example. Harakiri was easy in comparison, even though one is more of a popular rock record and the other will be a classical record, that won't be as, widely perceived around the world, because it's a classical records, they're a small segment of society, but we aim to reverse that. Well, I'm not going to tell any type of fans to listen to any type of music that they don't want to. I think there's an age and a kind of a time for every type of music, really. I think, I wasn't a fan of classical music growing up at all. But I was a fan of film music, a lot of which is classically oriented, because of the emotions it portrayed and the visuals that it paints, even without if you shut off the TV and just listen to the music, it's quite visual and beautiful. So that's really what got me into doing Orca. It's you know, composers like Ennio Morricone and Philip Glass, and you know, even modern ones like Alexander Desplat, who did The Girl with the Pearl Earring, and my friend Ramin Djawadi. Howard, you know, there's so many amazing composers, you know, film composers, especially in LA, where I am, and so that kind of really got me going to doing Orca. I don't believe in zoos much at all, whether it's aquatic or on land. I'm not, you know, I think, you know, I think having natural, if there's a population of a certain type of animal that's being extinct, and we want to help, we can help create ways without disturbing, and you know, them in their environment, to help with the extinction by keeping away our own species and our guns away from them, or our fisheries away from them, and that kind of stuff. I'm fine with that, but displaying them, you know, in some type of setting is not cool. You know, that's like, you know what, you know, it's like Planet of the Apes. If they took over and made you, you know, sit in a room and with a man and be like watching you from, you know, there's a Twilight Zone episode. It's pretty creepy that's like that, you know, it's not cool.